In this video, I'm going to show you how to create your parcels. Remember, we've already created one parcel, this big parcel right here. I'm going to go ahead and do some labeling changes. Type in properties, PR for properties. I'm going to highlight the one here. I'm going to change that, and I'm going to change it to parcel name and area. All right, just so you can see it a little bit better. So our area is 5.3 acres. Now, I need to split the road in between these parcels. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to parcels. I'm going to go parcel, or create parcel from objects, and I'm going to select this first parcel, and I'm going to select the outer edge where our back of sidewalk will be. And I'm going to click enter. I'm going to leave all of these as defaults, but I'm going to uncheck the automatically add labels because I don't want to add any labels. And I'm going to erase, I'm going to leave the entities as is and then go OK because I don't want them to erase the back of my sidewalk. Now what I've got is a 2 and a 1. So notice now the right-of-way area is 0.67 acres, and I'm going to go ahead and change that also. I'm going to change it just to show you different styles. I'm going to do parcel number. No, I don't like that. I'm going to change that again. So come up here, I click on it, and I'm going to do there. Nah, I don't want that. That's good. We can always change these later, and we will be. So now I've got this area open that I can actually build our project on, where it says parcel 2. Okay, so I'm going to start creating lots in this area. For us to be able to create lots, we're going to have to take a look at the zoning. So I pulled up the zoning guide, and you'll all be assigned a certain zone for your project. In this one, I'm using R1, where I have a minimum lot area of 5,000 feet, minimum living area 1,000, minimum width of the lot is 50, minimum front yard setback is going to be 20, minimum rear yard setback is going to be 20, side yards are 5, and the maximum building height is 35. Okay, so I'm going to use this data, and I'm going to start working on my parcels. All right, so I'm going to go to the Home tab, and I'm going to go to Parcels and Parcel Creation Tools. When I do that, I'm going to get this dialog box. Now, if you don't see this information where it says parameter, you're going to have to hit the chevron. The chevron opens up the data. Now, I told you I wanted a minimum area of 5,000 feet, so that's 5,000 square feet. The minimum frontage is a 50 foot. We want to use a minimum frontage offset. That means shooting it back this direction, and I do want a minimum offset frontage, and that's going to be 20 feet. The minimum lot width has to be at least 50 feet, and the minimum lot depth is going to be 100. We're not going to use a maximum depth, so that's going to be clicked no, and a maximum depth of, so when we say no use of maximum depth, this number doesn't really matter. All right? Now, everything else is going to be default. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to create, and I'm going to go sideline create. Select that. What that brings up is this dialog box here. Create parcels in layouts. So the site's 1, the style is property. I'm going to change it to parcel name and number. I'm not going to check the automatically add labels. I don't want, in case I don't like how this looks, I don't want to have to be deleting a lot of labels. So I'm going to leave that off. I can always add labels later. So I'll go OK. Now down here it says select the parcel to be subdivided. You have to select the second parcel that was created. When it does, down here at the command prompt it says select starting point for frontage. I'm going to select the endpoint. So I'm going to hit Shift right click endpoint for my OSNAP. I'm going to go all the way around, and I'm going to hit Shift endpoint because now it's telling me down here select the end of the frontage. So I'm going to hit the end point here. All right. Now it says specify angle, bearing, or azimuth. So the angle is I want this perpendicular to the road right of way. So perpendicular means I need a 90-degree angle. So I type in 90 and I hit enter. Now, if I like how this looks, then I'm going to say yes. And in all honesty, I like how this looks, so I'm going to say yes. Do I want to create and subdivide any more parcels? No, I'm not going to. So I'm going to hit escape, and I'm going to hit X for exit. Now, here's the thing. This last one's a little bit big, and these aren't lining up. Most of the time when you're designing subdivisions, you want the parcel lines to line up. So what you can do is I'm going to start to move these. I'm actually going to type in P line, Shift Enter. I'm going to turn my O snaps on to make it easier for myself, F8. So I'm going to do my O snaps endpoint, okay. And I'm going to, I created this line straight down, and I'm going to copy this. The reason I'm doing that is I want to line up, so I'm going to move all the other parcel lines. And I'm going to move these down. So I'm going to move this one down, and it's going to hit Shift Intersection. So I should have done an O snap to the intersection. So notice how it automatically updates. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to go intersection. Click on the line, intersection. And I'm just doing that so I'll have all my lines, lots, exactly across from one another. The reason I'm doing this is because when I start to put my storm drains in, then I will have inlets that are across from lot lines, and I don't have to worry about them not being adjacent to one another. The other thing is this lot is a little bit odd, so in the future we actually might have to adjust that lot a little bit. But for right now, I'm going to leave it as is. So I'm going to go ahead and erase these out of here because we don't need these miscellaneous lines once we have our lines set. Okay, so if you need to adjust your lines, you can just go ahead and grab them and drag them like we did before. So I could just, remember, just click on a line, pull it to where you need it to be. And the numbers are already automatically updated. If your numbers aren't updated, when you click on a property box, notice, or on a parcel, notice that you have rename and renumber. You can rename those and renumber those as you need to. So 2's right down here, and I don't want that. So I'm going to say, click on one of these. I'm going to rename and renumber, starting at 1, and I'm going to click OK. Now what's going to do is I'm going to pick this side and just basically create a little polyline all the way around it. Hit Enter and hit Enter. So what that does, it automatically puts the number 1 here, ends at 22 here, and puts 23 there. So now they're all in sequence. If you just jumble them up, you can always do this multiple times. All right, that's it for this video. The next one will be looking at our proposed grade profile because we need to look at where we want to put our inlets. So I'm thinking we put an inlet about 1200 right along this lot line. And then we'll put another inlet, so it'll be high point, low point, high point, low point. All right, so at least we've thought about where we put our inlets based on our lot lines. Next video is proposed grade profile. Go ahead and save this out as your parcels. In case it crashes, you'll have something to go back to, and we'll get started in the next video.